What is up, everyone? Welcome back to Top Chill Play. Today we are counting down the top 10 Ecchi anime you need to watch right now. Not the ones that show up on every basic list. Not the ones your algorithm already recommended 4 times. The ones with actual story, actual characters, actual world building, and yes, fan service that earns its place instead of just existing. The ones that made the genre what it is, and the few that most people never found. 10 Ecchi anime. Every single one verified and available in the US right now. Number 1 is not up for debate. Let's get into it. Coming in at number 10, Harem in the Labyrinth of Another World. This is the isekai Ecchi that commits fully to its premise from the first episode and never once apologizes for what it is. That honesty is exactly why it works. Michio Kaga is browsing a shady website late at night and gets transported directly into a fantasy RPG world. No truck, no death. He just chose to stay. His one goal, build a harem and conquer dungeons. The premise sounds simple because it is, but what separates this from the pile of generic isekai harems is the game system underneath it. Michio is calculated, patient, and strategic. He grinds levels before he pushes forward. Every decision carries real weight inside a world that actually functions like an RPG. The fan service goes further than most platforms allow on broadcast, and the show does not pretend otherwise. But the world gives it context, instead of just throwing it at the audience randomly. The power progression is consistent, the dungeon sequences are genuinely entertaining, and the isekai classification is fully earned. Transported from the real world into a game environment. Not reincarnated, not summoned. Just a man who decided to stay and build something. Harem in the Labyrinth of Another World is not trying to be Mushoku Tensei. It knows exactly what it is and it executes with more discipline than the genre usually gets credit for. If you want Ecchi isekai that treats its own rules seriously, this is where you start. 1 season on Crunchyroll. Number 9 is Rosario plus Vampire. Peak early 2000s Monster Girl harem. If you grew up watching anime in that era, this hits with serious nostalgia. And if you never saw it, you are missing the foundation of half the modern Ecchi genre. Sukune Aono accidentally enrolls in a school for monsters. He is the only human on campus. Every supernatural girl around him falls for him almost immediately. The show is completely aware of how ridiculous this is, and it is entirely fine with that. The comedy lands because each character is genuinely distinct, and the school setting generates scenarios that could only exist in this specific universe. Mocha Akashiya is one of the most iconic characters in Ecchi anime history. There is more to her than what she shows the world on any given day, and discovering exactly what that means is one of the genuine pleasures the series has to offer. The show builds that tension carefully and earns every moment of it. Rosario plus Vampire defined a generation of fans, and the DNA of modern Monster Girl anime runs straight through this series. Is the plot basic? Yes. Does it do exactly what it sets out to do with complete commitment and genuine heart? Absolutely. 2 seasons on Crunchyroll. Number 8 is Freezing, the dark horse of this entire list. One of the most slept-on Ecchi anime ever made, and the one that rewards viewers who expected nothing and got blindsided by something genuinely good. Earth is under attack by interdimensional aliens called Nova. The only ones who can stop them are Pandoras, genetically engineered female soldiers, paired with male partners called limiters, who suppress their combat limiters in battle. The system is brutal, and the show does not soften that. These are not invincible chosen heroes. They are soldiers operating under real pressure, in a world that does not hand out easy victories. Freezing is what happens when Ecchi commits to being a legitimate action series. The fan service is present, but it shares screen time with actual sci-fi world building that most people never expect from this genre. Bridget L. Satelizer is one of the best leads in Ecchi anime history. Cold, powerful, and layered in ways the first episode barely hints at. If you want Ecchi that hits harder than it has any right to, and delivers action sequences with actual weight behind them, Freezing is the answer. Most people skipped it. Do not be most people. 2 seasons on Crunchyroll. Number 7 is To Love Ru Darkness. If you thought the original To Love Ru was as far as this franchise could go, the Darkness arc resets the entire ceiling of what the series is capable of. This season shifts the spotlight to Momo, the devil princess who decides unilaterally that she is going to build Rito the ultimate harem whether he wants it or not. That premise sounds completely unhinged because it is. But it also unlocks a level of character depth that the original series never reached. Momo is calculating, emotionally intelligent, strategically dangerous, and completely committed to her goal in a way that turns the entire harem dynamic on its head. The Darkness arc works because the writing understands the full cast and uses that understanding to push every character further than the original series ever did. The comedy stays sharp, the fan service goes further, and the show has something real to say underneath all of it that most people never see coming. Veteran fans of the franchise consider this the arc where everything clicked into place. If you have never touched to Love Ru before, this is exactly where to start. On Crunchyroll right now. Number 6 is Prison School. The most absurd anime on this list and simultaneously one of the most brilliantly constructed comedies in the entire medium. Do not let the genre tag fool you into skipping this one. 5 boys get admitted to an elite all-girls school, and within the first episode, get caught doing something monumentally stupid. Their punishment is the Underground Student Council, which throws them into a literal prison constructed on school grounds. What follows is a completely unhinged battle of wits, humiliation, and survival against the most terrifyingly competent student government in anime history. Prison School is pure satire executed at maximum intensity. The fan service is extreme, but the comedic commitment is even more extreme. The boys suffer, constantly, mercilessly, in increasingly creative ways. And somehow that escalating suffering is the funniest thing you will watch all year. The Underground Student Council, especially Mari and Meiko, are among the greatest antagonists the Ecchi genre has ever produced. Prison School is the rare Ecchi anime that got praised even by people who do not normally watch the genre at all. The writing is that sharp, and the execution is that committed. 1 season on Crunchyroll. Watch it with someone who has not seen it and enjoy their reaction. Number 5 is No Game, No Life. One of the most entertaining anime ever made. And yes, it belongs on this list. The Ecchi is woven into the confidence, chaos, and creative insanity that defines everything this show does. Genius gamer siblings Sora and Shiro are pulled into a world where every conflict is resolved by games. No war, no violence, just games, with the fate of nations and species on the line every single time. They are the best players in either world, and they are going to prove it against every race in existence. The world building is genuinely creative. The stakes escalate perfectly, and every game sequence is constructed like a puzzle that the audience is invited to solve alongside the characters. The Ecchi in No Game No Life is woven into the confidence and chaos of the characters rather than dropped on top of the story, and the story is worth protecting. Sora and Shiro are the most entertaining protagonist duo in the genre. Their bond is the emotional core of everything, and the way they approach each new opponent will keep you guessing every single time. No Game No Life is 12 episodes of peak anime and Season 2 still has not arrived. That is genuinely one of the medium's great ongoing tragedies. 1 season on Crunchyroll. Watch it and then join the rest of us waiting. Number 4 is Food Wars. Shokugeki no Soma. Yes, this is an Ecchi list. Yes, the Ecchi is about food. It is the most creative fan service concept in the history of the genre, and it is some of the most genuinely entertaining television anime has ever produced. Soma Yukihira enters the most prestigious culinary school in Japan with one goal: become the best chef alive. The Shokugeki system turns cooking into formal combat. Duels judged by taste, with real consequences for the losers. When the food is extraordinary enough, the judges experience a full sensory breakdown. Clothes fly, reality bends. And somehow, this is the most hype thing you have seen all year because the show earns every single reaction through the craft and creativity it puts into the cooking itself. The early arcs are constructed like a proper battle, shonen with cooking as the power system. Soma's rivals are genuinely formidable, and every one of them has a story worth knowing. Erina Nakiri is one of the most compelling characters in the series, and the show takes its time building exactly who she is and why that matters. The mid-season stretch delivers some of the best back-to-back storytelling in the genre. 5 seasons of Food Wars on Crunchyroll, with the early arcs being some of the most rewatchable anime ever made. The concept should not work this well. It absolutely does. Start from episode 1 and try not to watch 5 episodes in a row. Number 3 is Monster Musume, Everyday Life with Monster Girls. This one is weird. This one is also genuinely charming in a way that sneaks up on you completely if you go in expecting nothing. The world-discovered monster girls are real. Kurusu Kimihito gets assigned as a host family for Mia, a snake girl Lamia, and before long his house is overflowing with a centaur, a harpy, a mermaid, a slime, and more. The law says no interspecies contact. His situation says otherwise. Every episode, without fail, in increasingly creative and chaotic ways. What makes Monster Musume work where most harem anime fall flat is the character writing. Every monster girl has a distinct personality that comes directly from her species' biology. The comedy does not just come from the fan service. It comes from how each non-human form creates uniquely impossible situations that a human household has no framework to handle. The show thought about its own premise, and that thinking shows. Monster Musume found its niche, built a genuine world around it, and owned that world completely. Available on Hidiv. If you want Ecchi that is as funny as it is anything else, this is the one to watch. Number 2 is My Dress Up Darling. This is not the most intense Ecchi on this list. It might be the best anime on this list, period. Wakana Gojo lives for traditional Japanese Hina dolls. Marin Kitagawa lives for cosplay. These two worlds have no business colliding. They do. And what comes out of that collision is one of the most genuinely excellent romances anime has produced in years, wrapped in fan service that hits hard, precisely because you actually care about both people involved. That is the formula most Ecchi anime tries and fails to execute. My Dress Up Darling nails it from episode 1. Marin is one of the most magnetic characters in recent anime history. Unashamed, direct, emotionally aware, and completely secure in who she is. She is exactly who Gojo needs, and the show builds that relationship with patience and intelligence rather than forcing it. The cosplay production sequences are detailed and impressive. The show respects both leads equally. That respect is what makes every fan service moment land, instead of feeling cheap. Season 2 is confirmed and the anticipation is real. My Dress Up Darling is the Ecchi anime you recommend to someone who says they do not watch Ecchi anime. 2 seasons incoming on Crunchyroll. If you have not seen Season 1 yet, fix that tonight. And the number 1 Ecchi anime you need to watch right now is High School DxD, the king, the benchmark. The anime that every Ecchi series made after it got measured against whether the people making it admitted it or not. Issei Hyodo is a lovable, unambiguously perverted high school student who gets killed on his first date. Turns out she was a fallen angel. He is resurrected by Rias Gremory, the most powerful devil at his school, and reborn into a mythology built on angels, fallen angels, and devils locked in a cold war for cosmic dominance. Issei's goal is to become the harem king. The world around him has very different plans. High School DxD built a legitimate world. The rating game system, the sacred gear hierarchy, the 3-faction politics, the peerage structure. This show has more functional world building than anime that pretend to be serious properties. The power system has real rules. The stakes escalate consistently across 4 seasons, and the cast keeps growing in ways that give every returning viewer a reason to stay invested. Rias Gremory, Akeno Himejima, Koneko Tujo, Asia Argento. The DxD roster is iconic, and no other Ecchi series has held this level of fan engagement across this many years. High School DxD is the conversation. If you have not seen it, you are not ready to have an opinion on the Ecchi genre. 4 seasons on Crunchyroll. Start tonight. And that is the top 10 Ecchi anime you need to watch right now. High School DxD at number 1. No debate, no contest. Which one is your number 1? And which Ecchi did we leave off this list that should have been here? Drop it in the comments. If this list put something on your radar, hit the like button and subscribe to Top Chill Play for daily anime rankings. I will see you in the next one.